Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight? How's chat doing? No. Hopefully, hopefully everyone's having an amazing Friday night or morning. I don't judge, whichever you are a part of. There we go. So, on the community or on the Fusion Den, our community server, which attached to this video, you'll find a beautiful link down below, and it is a link to our community server where you can meet uh, the Fusion Den. It's our community. Everyone is welcome, and I will be posting a poll after every stream on Friday, or after every stream on Friday, of what game we should play next, or on the next Friday, for Horror Friday or Spooky Friday. We'll call it Spooky Friday just because I feel like it's better. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully you guys are having a good, wonderful Friday. I know. I'm being actually consistent. It's kind of crazy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, look, it's hard to be this cool, you know? Oh, ha, almost forgot.
Ah, oopsies. Almost forgot that part. I know, yes, good job. I know, you're you're a streamer. You're supposed to remember everything. You're supposed to set up everything. Well, sometimes I can't. I have a few loose screws. And obviously we have our coffee. Yep. It's not it's not a Corey stream without coffee, you know? You know, you know. If you don't, start knowing. There's not much else I can say besides you should start knowing. Of course, of course, how we usually start these off, we give, we go ahead and just forget, you know, we, how we normally start this off. We want to make sure that everything is being done correctly. Want to make sure that we have not at all made any errors. Just got to make sure that everything is set correctly so we're not freaking the heck out. Don't need any random bits going on while we're have while we're having our fun. It's it's wonderful to see everyone again. I know it's been so long. Been too long. I can't believe it. So much craziness has been going on. I know, right? Sometimes you gotta give. Sometimes, or I will say, when you do run the fusion den, sometimes you gotta give um, my editor Kelpie a minute. He's a little slow. He has tacos on his brain. It's crazy. I don't know what that guy is doing half the time. Sometimes I wonder if he like takes a break, puts his mental thoughts on break. Wish we could do that. Without further ado, it seems like this week's game that's won the poll is a game called Dagon. Dagon? Dragon. No, it's Dagon. Dagon. It's by H.P. Lovecraft. It seems interesting. Without further ado, let us launch. Let us begin our nightly endeavors of a horror and spookiness. Is the audio going? I hope audio's going. Audio's not going. Why is audio not going? Okay, it's not just me. Right off the bat, pretty crazy game. You know, 10 out of 10, you know. Starting screen. Let's see what we got. It is a faithful interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here. Movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain,
just
since by
get right
tonight
into
I
it.
shall be no more.
During the game, you'll encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Lovecraft's letter. As to letters, my case is peculiar. I write such things exactly as easily and as rapidly as I would utter the same topics in conversations. Indeed, epistolary expression is with me largely replacing conversations as my condition of nervous frustration becomes more and more acute. I cannot bear to talk much now, and am becoming as silent as the spectator himself. My loquacity extends itself on paper. H.P. Lovecraft to Reinhard Kleiner, December 23rd, 1917. So, chat, this starts in 1917, on December 23rd, a few days before Christmas. Wild. Throughout his life, Lovecraft penned around 100,000 letters to his friends and fans, out of which about 10% of this day. But his tendency to endless correspondence was a relatively late growth. In youth, I scarcely did any letter writing, thinking anybody for a present was so much of an ordeal that I would rather have written 250 line pastoral or 20-page treatise on the reigns of Saturn. Selected letters, 1929 to 1931, H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft would often skip meals to afford postage. Collections of his correspondence have been published in various books, and second letters can be found online. Some readers consider them his most important legacy. You can read the discovered trivia immediately or go back to them later in the main menu. Turn off displaying trivia if you find that the feature distracts you from the story. This can be changed at any time.
penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable. I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Okay.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Huh. There's a syringe.
It was in one of the most open
Hello,
and least
Raptor.
frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
How you doing today? Look at that, it's discovering secrets already. Got him. I hope the game's not
Great
like,
Wall.
extremely loud. Hold on. There we go, cheese.
War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Huh.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone, in a small boat, with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Interesting. Interesting. That's a point and click adventure. Right?
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings. Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator. Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Guess we're in for the long haul, huh? Oh. Interesting.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Oh. Okay.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue. The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Okay. These squids. Oh, squiddies. Why is there a squid on my boat?
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see, and in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
Huh.
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be
Oh, shit. The one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and expected a transformation of scenery. I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
for there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain. Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Never mind. I'm just
The
gonna
sun
not say
was
that.
blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Oh. Arachnophobia, anyone? That mud sounds
As I
squishy.
crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Huh. Oh, that's moving. That motherfucking mountain's moving.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time. That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food
Hello,
and water,
Cuddy.
preparatory to an overland journey
Welcome
in
to the
search of
stream.
the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Hmm. I thought that might have been something. Is there something in the sky? No. Any lure? No. Okay. Continue then.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
This doesn't look dry, I'm not gonna lie. It
The
still looks
odor
kind
of the
of wet.
fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Okay then. Guess we're continuing.
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Huh. Hmm. You got no monologue for this shit? The beluga is a whale. Okay.
That night I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Hmm. I think there's a worm in the ground. That's either a worm or a centipede. One.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Why the fuck did your voice
An intervening
change?
valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill. I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
Your voice changed. Can we lick the floor?
Ere the waning and fantastically gibbous
it
moon
tastes
had
mud.
risen far above
You
the
could
eastern
lick the floor,
plain,
chat.
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
What?
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Why did you turn around? Oh. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent, which had deterred me at sunset.
Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Aha! Lower.
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon, whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine. I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Huh.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Any lore? Any lore? No?
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent,
How's that?
whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
There's no lord. What is that? Can I click it? No? Okay.
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated.
Oh.
All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
There's no lord. There's no lord can click, is there?
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself. But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude, and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith.
How did you perceive that, man? How did you perceive this BS? How do you not?
Whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
What, you think the octopi made this? All the octopi down here?
Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
I did? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to examine my surroundings? We're just gonna keep on.
The moon, now
Water.
near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope. Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Oh. I haven't seen much lore around. I haven't seen much lore around.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
How did you just like... What? Mate, how'd you get up here?
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Whoever drew this, by the way, is fucking really good artist, apparently.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a Doré. I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men, though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or
Mermaids.
paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint, grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Huh.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
How did you get all this from our pictures?
Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
How'd you get all this from the pictures?
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
I ask again, how did you get all these from pictures?
Some tribe whose last descendant had
I think I
perished
know how
years
you got
before
all
the
these
first
from pictures.
ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born. Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist,
Huh. Are you ready then?
I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it,
So what?
with only a slight churning to mark
Oh.
its rise to the surface. The thing slid into view above the dark waters.
So the water surface has been disturbed. Oh, fuck you.
Loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
That's a
About which
cheap
it flung
jump
its
scare.
gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
It's, you know what? I think we should just give it some time. It needs a little bit of personal time with its, whatever the heck it has.
Mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
I've gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
This is how pirate stories begin.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Oh. Okay then.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital,
Damn.
brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
Guys, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I only saw the Muffin Man.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
It was the Muffin Man. I
Once I
promise.
sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Dagon. Oh. I thought it was a dragon. Huh. Okay. Anything else in here? Maybe the clock? Maybe the... something?
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Hey, you too stupid. You wouldn't understand that we saw a fish man. That fish people exist. How could a mere aqualith mortium being know about the fish gods? How could they know about mermaids? Freaking can't believe it. Marine. And they call themselves a
It
marine
is at night,
biologist.
especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing. I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men. Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man-of-war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable
What the
likenesses on
hell?
submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Look at all them fish. Telling you, fish people, they're real. Chat, fish people are real. And they're gonna rise. They're gonna rise and they're gonna make human their bitches. That's all I'm saying.
The end is near.
Excuse me? The end
I
of
hear
the
a
mirror?
voice at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Oh man, I was just joking about becoming a fish, fish person slave. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was just a joke. We don't need all that. Is there any clue? Any lore? For real.
It shall not find me.
That's right.
God, that hand!
I thought it was
The
invisible.
window! The window!
Hold on! I gotta look for lore! Is there any lore? Is there any lore? I know this is super intense and I was supposed to be running, but I need lore. Is there any lore? Lore. Okay, we're going out the window. The lore. I think I died. That's it. That's it. Chat. That's it. Okay. Well then.
And scary stories have been accompanying men for centuries. They have many faces and forms. But
Why are you
what
so
is their
loud?
purpose? Why do we enjoy being afraid so much?
What do
During our
Question.
therapy, I'll try to explain.
Oh, I didn't get everything. I missed some lore, chat. Chat, I missed some lore. I can't believe it. Chat, we missed lore. Anyway. So obviously, the base of that game is saying we're all gonna become slaves to fish people. Nothing more, nothing we can do. Alright, but all in all, bro, that's actually a pretty good game. I like that. I thought it'd be longer. I didn't realize it'd be less than 10 minutes. So, alright, here's what we'll do. I do have two other games. Uh, and I will say in chat, out of the two other games that I have, should we play The House in the Woods or It Moves? Right now, put it in chat which game you'd like to see. Don't be shy. Every vote counts. Don't be shy, chat. It's okay. Take your time. We got It Moves and The House in the Woods. These are two games that we can do. because apparently the fish person game was not as long as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a lot longer. I didn't realize how short it was. Alright, we're saying woods chat. Alright, hold on. Let me get it all set up. Okay. Alright, give me 1 second, chat. I'll make it so you guys can see you right now. For some reason. Okay, hold on. There we go. Oh, wait, what? We're, oh, we're just in this. Okay, chat, welcome to House in the Woods. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm really hoping, yes you can. Cool. Uh, okay, this is really loud. Hold on, we're just gonna... do that. Oh, hello! Oh, where'd you go? Excuse me! Excuse me! Guess you don't exist. What in the hell? We just kind of like went right in and alrighty, there's like these weird symbols on the trees. Oh, hi, fucker. Can we not mess with my flashlight, guys? They're just running in a random direction, I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I don't know where the hell I'm going. This is a windy game. Holy shit. There's a lot of wind. It's also really dark. Alright, we'll just keep heading this way. Hello? What the fuck? fishing pole. Huh. Um. Okay, if that's a thing. Hello? I'm coming, ma'am. We're coming to the rescue. I can help you. Ma'am. Ma'am, keep screaming if you're in danger. Okay, these noises are really loud. I just gotta turn it down a little bit. There we go. Alright. Hello? Hello? Ma'am, I've come to save you. I don't know how you walked through a frickin' door, but you know. I've come to save you, ma'am. I heard you calling for help. Oh, what the fucking... Fuck you. This is not how you treat your guests, ma'am. What are you fucking banging around up there? What? What the hell? I heard there are cultists outside this place. Okay. Hello? You're what the fuck? Don't do that. Fuck you. How did I end up outside? Can I have my flashlight back? I can't leave. Good to know. Hi. Hello? I'm just... No, let me leave. Fuck you. Fuck you. Where'd the cultists go? There are people in white robes outside. Where did they go? Dropped it. We're exploring. Jeez. That wind. How crazy that wind is, Chad. I don't see any cultists anymore. Maybe they're not cultists. Maybe they're not cultists. Maybe they're just simply people in white pajamas that are, you know, never just wanting to give us a cup of sugar or something. Maybe they aren't really cultists. Maybe they were just very nice neighbors that wanted to give us sugar. We were being rude and running away from them. Why so many neighbors, you may ask? Well, have you ever been in a neighborhood chat? You know, there's quite a few. Don't have just one. Why is that room glowing red? Oh, my flashlight. What kind of wand is that? Hello? Oh, die. They're obviously trying to get sugar. Oh, where the hell? Jeez. There's so many breaking branches. My flashlight's broken still. Hmm. Did something just... Did anyone else see that? Oh, come on, guys. I thought I saw something up there. Maybe we didn't just go back down. Can we leave it? Was this always here? Let's leave. Nope, I can't leave yet. Huh. Alright then. A lot of handprints on these walls. Were you guys like fingerprinting the fucking walls? What's going on here? You know what, chat? We're gonna be brave. We're gonna be big boys. We're going upstairs. Yeah, that's right. Fuck you, whoever's up here. I'm in your house. What are you gonna do about it? What if... On a second thought, you know, you can just... Okay, we can't leave. You wanna know what? Oh, that's right. It's our friendly neighbors. With... Did... You know what? They're just this hot chat. Obviously, they're just being artists. They're just drawing. There's nothing crazy here, and they have. Fuck that! Fuck you! You can die. I'm not helping you. I don't want to help you. Jesus. Hi. Hi. You can fucking die. You're gonna kill yourself. You don't need help. You got this. You obviously don't need my help, so I'm just gonna take my leave. And I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. You obviously don't need my help. Is this, I guess... You don't need help. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You got this. I believe in you. You can escape all on your own. You don't need my help. You... The more I travel this way, the less I want to help you. You know, you got this. I believe in you. You take care. Have fun. I'm just gonna like it, but they locked me in the basement. Let me out. I don't want to help her. I don't want to help her. Alright, I guess we're helping her, Chad. Guess we're helping. What the? Hello? Bye. Hi. What the hell is that? You're drawing triangles? Hey, man, look, you don't have to feed me the demon or something. I guess we couldn't work anything out, Chad. There's nothing we could have worked out. And the game closes itself. The game closed itself, Chad. What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck was that? The game closed itself. Oh my god. That is, yeah. I don't know what that was. That was something. Definitely something. I can say that. Um, yeah. Well, that happened. Uh, so we immediately get put into the game, and then we try to pull it, and then we didn't have even a moment to figure out what the heck we were doing, and then we get beat to a demon, like a goat demon thing. Huh. That was like an everyday kind of occurrence. Uh, what do you say, Chad? Do we want to try It Moves? Do we want to, do we want to do It Moves? Have that be our final game for tonight? What do you say, chat? What are you thinking, chat? Do it. Alright, let's do it. Let me first I got to do a few things, turn and launch game. Go to second chat. Hold on. Alrighty. Okay. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Give it a second. It's starting to load. Okay, it doesn't seem to be wanting to focus in. Hold on. Give me one moment, chat. Let's see. We'll just focus it. There we go. Alright. This doesn't. Okay, chat. So, this game doesn't seem to be supporting full screen, so. Oh, see. Okay. Just brightness so that left bar on TV blends into the background and the center is barely visible. How do I? Okay. Bedtime. Bedtime is supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. While some children might complain about being put to bed before they have finished watching a film or playing their favorite video game. When I was a child, nighttime was something to truly fear. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it still is. This is me. Oh. Okay. Full of toys and stuff. It's a bunk bed. I sleep in the top. Am I an orphan? It's a wolf. I'm sorry to tell you, that's not a fucking wolf, kid. A poster from a movie. I got it from my brother. Okay, we're not an orphan. Alright. I cannot prove that what happened to me was objectively real. But I can't swear that what I experienced was genuine horror. A fear which in my life, I'm glad to say, has never been equaled. I relate it to you all. I relate it to you all now as best I can. Make of it what you will. But I'll be glad to just get it off my chest. flowers. Mom puts these here. What a great mother. I don't remember exactly when it started, but my apprehension towards falling asleep seemed to correspond with me being moved into a room of my own. This is my mother. Is it your mother, though? Box is full of stuff. Ventilation, I think Mom said this is. Just a bunch of clothes in here. The man with the mustache. Mom told me not to touch your stuff, especially this stuff. Uh-oh. Nothing too interesting. How do you like your new room? Soon you'll be sleeping alone for the first time. Uh-oh. Dad, Mom has your special drawer. I just realized you guys can't see the game properly. Oh, you can't see the game properly. I'm just delusional. No, you can't. I lied. What? Hold on. There we go. Hopefully now you can see the game properly. Alright. There we go. Should be good now. This is my father. Don't go pulling out too much stuff now. It's bedtime soon. What's in there? This is my brother's room. He told me yesterday to keep out of the room that we both had shared until then. I was 8 years old at the time, and until then, I had to share a room. Quite happily with my older brother. As is perfectly understandable for a boy 5 years, my senior, my brother eventually wished for a room of his own as a result. I was given the room at the back of the house, as my brother was given a new bed. I was given the bunk beds which we used to share. While I was upset about sleeping on my own, I was excited at the thought of being able to sleep in the top bunk, which seemed far more adventurous to me. Whoa! Dad! Dad, go sleep! Oh. Hello? Mom. Alright, it's bedtime. Already? Yes, adults need their sleep, you see. You'll be sleeping alone for the first time. You excited? Yes, Mom. Alright, I'm turning off the lights. Good night. Good night. Chapter 1, Cave. Going in a cave? Save? Yes. Oh, oh. Hello. Creature. Oh, you're on... Okay. A small water hole. The water is dirty. Probably not a good idea to drink it. But it's my dream. What the heck's gonna happen in my dream? I can't die in my dream. Can't go that way. Okay, we're going inside then. Oh. a pot and some ragged clothes. I wonder what's cooking. Stalking is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it more as intense research on one individual. By the way, your missing sock is under your bed with me. Just kidding. Who the fuck are you? A cold, unwelcoming breeze comes from the bottom of the stairs. Let's go figure it out, Chad. Let's go see what it is. Obviously welcoming. Green mushroom. Looks poisonous. You should eat it. Oh. Gotta go down. You're exploring. What in the... Hello? Weird mushrooms. Looks poisonous. Hello? Can't see the bottom. A purple mushroom. Definitely poisonous. It's probably fine. Oh, I'm feeling a little peckish. Bitch! Oh, not by me again. Better fuck off. Is there a red liquid seeping out from the mushroom hat? Oh, there is a red liquid seeping out. Okay, that's... I shouldn't be asking it like a question and more of a statement. Can't see the bottom. Oh, right. It's past this way. Okay. I don't know why, but I just feel like we should go back. I don't feel like we should just not go that way. First, I just feel unwelcomed, you know? You know, it said we were unwelcome, so I gotta obviously, like, not mess with it too much. Not tempt fate anymore. You know, this just gotta go all the way back. You know, there was a, what? Where'd the nerd go? Hello, nerd. Nerd? Hey, creepy stalker nerd. Where'd you go? I get fine, I guess. Alright. I guess we gotta go back. I don't know where this weird stalker nerd went, but... Let's see ya. Hey. Ah, it's a puzzle. Well, figured it out. Brute force. Didn't have to solve the stupid puzzle. There is a red liquid seeping out from this mushroom hat. That blood? Like red liquid blood? Hello? So, maybe we continue on. Nothing I heard from continuing. Well, except for murder. If you're committing murder, you probably shouldn't continue doing that. Don't continue committing murder if you're committing murder. You should stop doing that. It's not good. It's not good for anyone's health, really. Something seems to get... Somebody seems to be angry. Somebody don't like us being here. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You don't want to touch me. You don't want to... I got touched by a spider with faces. Chad, what in the heck just happened? I'm not even sure what the heck happened there. What? Mom, I had a bad dream. Mom! No! Mom, I fucking pissed my bed. Mom, I shit my pants. We can eat breakfast together. Alright, hurry up. Go change your clothes and I'll be right there. Don't give a fuck. Like, go away, I'm sleeping. What's this one? No, need to go, or no need to go here right now. Okay. Oh, another day it started. It was a day of little importance to our story. I won't bother you with details. The one thing I remember is that even though I played with friends like I always did, I somehow still felt alone. I didn't enter my new room until later that night. It was time just to go to sleep again. Oh, we danced in the bed. The Labyrinth, Chapter 2. Just burning this into my brain, my dream world's brain. Obviously, we want save. Hello? Hello, we're back. Oh, wait. Sequence. This one. Yeah, this one. Ah! You're so smart. Too smart for these puzzles. Let's just let in a circle. We are so smart. None of these poses scare me. It's like a fan. Get good. For real. For real, chat. Gotta get good. Instructions on how to use a fire extinguisher. Well, why would I need instructions on how to use a fire extinguisher? Answer obviously is I'm just so cool that you know they gotta put out my flame. Ventilation maybe? This air is still stuffy though. Okay. Wow. Is that nothing about interest, I think. Oh, chat. I feel like there's this little feeling that this would be kind of yeah. Hello. Does anyone else see the shadow of a face on the screen? Anyone else see that shadow of a face on the screen? Oh, just me? Okay. Good enough. What's this? A poster from some concert. At least I'll... Oh, I feel like I'm faster. I'm saying to be a little faster. Ventilation, maybe. Okay, that's just the ventilation quote. A water poster. Yeah, it's because in every labyrinth you want to see a water poster. Some kind of machinery. Okay. I don't know where we're supposed to be going. Face. So you did see the face. Alrighty. That's interesting. What the fuck? Hello? Yeah, you get back here. Get back here. Come back here right now. I'll beat you. Get your bitch ass back here. I'll bite you. I'll go hands with you, boy. Yeah, you better run. Better run from me. They so afraid of me, chat. Better be afraid of me. Oh shit. I'll fight you, and I'll win. Oh, that's an actual area over here. On a court. What's that? I don't know. Your guess as good as mine, kid. Hey. What did you growling at me? Fuck, you go so fast. And see if I control my own speed. It's so fast. Is that face getting more visible? Is that face getting more visible? I don't know about that. Are we just playing hide and seek with this girl? We're assuming it's a girl. Is that what we're doing? Oh, there she is. Hey. Okay. I'm assuming we just keep finding this girl. Okay, yes, the face is pretty. Oh, wow. That's a face. And you awaken from a deep sleep to something moving or stirring. It can take a few moments for you to truly understand what is happening. The fog of sleep hangs over your eyes and ears when lucid. Something was moving. There was no doubt about that. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. Everything was dark, almost pitch black, but there was enough light creeping in from outside to outline that room. Two thoughts appeared in my mind almost simultaneously. First was that my parents were in bed because the rest of the house lay both in darkness and silence. The second thought turned to the noise, a noise which had obviously woken me up. That was it. Bed sheets rustling in the dark and someone breathing. As if some disturbed sleeper was attempting to get all too comfortable on the bottom bunk. I lay there in disbelief, thinking that the noise was either my imagination, or perhaps just my pet cat finding somewhere comfortable to spend the night. It was then that I noticed my door shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. Perhaps my mom had checked in on me and the cat had sneaked into my room then. Yes, that must have been it. I turned to face the wall, closing my eyes in the vain hope that I could fall back to sleep. As I moved, the rustling noise from underneath me ceased. I thought that I must have disturbed my cat. Quickly, I realized that the visitor in the bottom bunk was much less mundane than my pet trying to sleep, and much more sinister. As if alerted to and disgruntled by my presence, the disturbed sleeper began to toss and turn violently, like a child having a tantrum in their bed. I could hear the sheets twist and turn with increasing ferocity. Fear then gripped me not like the subtle sense of unease I had experienced earlier, but now potent and terrifying. My heart raced as my eyes panicked, scanning the almost impenetrable darkness. I let out a cry. As most young boys do, I instantly shouted at my mother. I could hear something stir on the other side of the house. But as I began to breathe a sigh of relief that my parents were coming to save me, the bunk bed suddenly started to shake violently as if gripped by an earthquake, scrapping against the wall. I could hear the sheets below me thrashing around as if tormented by malice. I did not want to jump down to safety as I feared the thing in the bottom bunk would reach out and grab me, pulling me into the darkness, so I stayed there, white knuckles clenching my own blanket like a shroud of protection. The wait seemed like an eternity. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? I cried and my mother consoled me. Tears of fear followed by relief streamed down my face. Yet through all of the horror and relief, I did not tell her why I was so upset. I cannot explain it, but it was as though whatever had been in that bunk would return, even if I so much as spoke of it. Whether that was the truth, I do not know. As a child, I felt as if that unseen menace remained close, listening. My mother lay in the empty bunk, promising to stay there until morning. I remember the next day wanting to go anywhere, be anywhere, but in that suffocating room. It was Saturday, and I played outside quite happily with my friends. Although our house was not large, we were lucky to have a long, sloping garden in the back. We played there often, as much of it was overgrown and we could hide in the bushes. climb in the huge sycamore tree which towered above all else, and easily imagine ourselves in the throes of a grand adventure. As fun as it all was, occasionally my eyes would turn to that small window in my room. Ordinary, slight, and innocuous. But for me, that thin boundary was like looking glass into a strange, cold pocket of dread. Outside, the lush green surroundings of our garden filled with the smiling faces of my friends. Inside, feeling something in that room, watching me play, waiting for the night when I would be alone, eagerly filled with hate. It may sound strange to you, but by the time my parents ushered me back into that room for the night, I said nothing. I didn't protest. I didn't even make an excuse as to why I couldn't sleep there. I still felt that this thing would be enraged if I so much as spoke of it. Another night came. Back to Christ. Oh yeah, I didn't think this would be this intense, but it's starting to get kind of, it is kind of like intense. Alright, let's continue on, shall we? A huge skull. A banner but on a long pole. It's too old and torn to make out details. Banner too long, and it's a huge skull. Real. A huge skull. That skull is blinking red eyes, but we're not gonna comment on that. We go back. Door is firmly shut. We're just gonna keep going. I don't think there's anything there. Oh, okay, so the eyes are blinking faster and redder, and the room's getting darker. Huge skull. Huge skull. Huge skull. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't need to look at your skull. That didn't look good. Some kind of altar. I'm not gonna make a comment about this satanic. Okay. Just make our way this way then. This picture some kind of green landscape. The picture is in too bad shape to make out any details. Large fan circulating the stuffy air. Some kind of machine. Some kind of machine. Hello? Hi. What happened? What did that do? Hi, being, whatever. Are you... how are you? I'm doing pretty good. No, we're not, well, how you guys doing, chat? Chat, you guys doing good? Yeah, the spooky game wants to know. The spooky game wants to know. How are you guys doing? How's chat doing? Spooky game is asking, you know? Here, look at this. It's being like, hey, how are you? How are you doing, chat? We gotta, next to the spooky game. Yeah, we can't just leave the spooky game hanging. That's good. You know, that's good, chat. That's like some kind of something used to pour out of these. The blood of the children. That's what used to pour out of those. Thought we finished the labyrinth. Or not. Looks like the lights on the runway at airports. Very specific. Okay. Some kind of machine. Need to flip that lever. Nothing else down here. Creepy mask. Creepy is an understatement. What an award-winning smile. That's an award-winning smile. Did you guys see that smile? Seems really happy about something. Did it open? It did. There's a red liquid pointing out. Like I said, blood of the children. Children's blood is now flowing. I'm betting this opens that one area that's all the way up here. No, it did not. What did it open? Oh, it opened down here. Okay, let's go this way. We'll start out over here and make our way around. What the fuck is that? Sorry. Jeez, didn't realize didn't want to be looked at. Jeez, man. I'm a tough crowd, huh? Oh, wait, I'm on the other side of the altar. This. Oh, it did open up here. What are those blinking lights? My guess is that it opened up down here. You're just gonna get writhing and being weird flesh and bones. What's this? I'm supposed to click that. Look. Damn it. It's funny how certain words can remain hidden from your mind, and no matter how blatant or oblivious they are. One word came to me that night, lying there in the darkness, alone, frightened, aware of a rotten change in the atmosphere. A thickening of the air, as if something had displaced it. As I heard the first casual twists of the bed sheets below, the first anxious increase of my heartbeat at the realization that something was once again in the bottom of the bunk. A word which had been sent into exile, filtered up through my consciousness, breaking free of all repressions, and gasping for air, screaming, etching, and carving itself into my mind. Ghost. As this thought came to me, I noticed that my unwelcome visitor had ceased moving. The bedsheets laying calm and dormant, but they had been replaced by something far more hideous. Slow, rhythmic, grasping breath heaved and escaped from the thing below. I can imagine its chest rising and falling with each sordid, wheezing, garbled breath. I shuddered and hoped beyond all hope that it would leave without occurrence. The house lay, as it had the previous night, a thick blanket of darkness. Silence prevailed, all but for the perverted breath of my as yet unseen bunkmate. I lay there terrified. I just wanted this thing to go, to leave me alone. What did it want? Then something unmistakably chilling transpired. It moved. It moved in a way different from before. But it threw itself around in the bottom of the bunk. It seemed unrestrained, without purpose, almost animalistic. That thing lying there in the darkness, that thing which seemed intent on terrorizing a young boy, calmly and nonchalantly sat up. Its labored breathing had become louder. Now only a mattress and a few flimsy wooden slats separated my body from the unearthly breath below. I lay there, my eyes filled with tears, a fear which mere words cannot relate to you or anyone else coursed through my veins. I would not have believed that this fear could have been heightened, but I was so wrong. Imagine that this thing was sitting there listening from below my mattress, hoping to catch the slightest hint that I was awake. Imagination then turned to an unnerving reality. It began to touch the wooden slats which my mattress sat on. It seemed to caress them, carefully running what I imagined to be fingers and hands across the surface of the wood. What the fuck? Then, with great force, it prodded angrily between two slats into the mattress. Even through the padding, it felt as though someone had viciously stuck their fingers into my side. I let out an almighty cry and wheezing, shaking, and moving thing in the bed below replied in a kind but violently vibrating the bunks it had done the night before. Small flakes of paint pattered onto my blanket from the wall as the frame of the bed scraped along it, backwards and forwards. Once again, I was bathed in light, and there stood my mother, loving, caring as she always was, but with a comforting hug and calming words which eventually subdued my hysteria. Of course, she asked what was wrong. I could not say. I dared not say. I simply said one word over and over and over again. Nightmare. This pattern of events continued for weeks, if not months. Night after night, I would awaken to the sound of rustling sheets. Each time I would scream so as to not provide his abomination, stupid, with time to prod or feel for me again. With each cry, the bed would shake violently, stopping with the arrival of my mother, who would spend the rest of the night in the bottom bunk, seemingly unaware of the sinister force torturing her son nightly. Along the way, I managed to feign illness a few times and come up with other less than truthful reasons for sleeping in my parents' bed. But more often than not, I'd be alone. For the first few hours of each night in that place, the room where the light from outside did not sit right, alone with that thing. With time, you can become desensitized to almost anything, no matter how horrific. I'd come to realize that for whatever reason, this thing could not harm me when my mother was present. I'm sure the same would have been said for my father, but as loving as he was, waking up from sleep was almost impossible. Waking me, on the other hand, was no trouble at all, thanks to the nightmares. Anger Overlord Wild. That is a name and a half. We are saving each step of the way. When the hangs from the wall, a piece of meat hangs to dry from it. Painted glass depicts some religious man, I guess. Earthquake? Some other man, I guess. The painted glass depicts a scene from the Bible. This room blurred. Oh, that's because it's... Various jars with disgusting stuff inside. Another one. Big pull, but I'd rather not use it. Fair enough. Looks like a map. Picture depicts a couple of men. That picture depicts a couple of men standing in front of a car. Painted old picture. Fuck. there cats hung? What evil mastermind hangs cats from their ceiling? Hey. Hey. Come here, man. Come here. Guess not. Okay, fine. Hello? Why are there babies? Okay. I guess we'll just ignore the babies, I suppose. Just act like they don't exist. Oh, the mats are closed this time. Alrighty. Real. We can go back. No, we can't. These are weird noises. Are your babies okay? Hey, why are you guys crying? Stop crying. Well, then I would get from my house if you cry. Let me just say that these noises I'm hearing are so, like, eerie and they're kind of horrifying in their own way. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, babies. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't. Oh, fuck that! No, be gone, foul demons! Fuck you. Fuck you. I will drop kick you, babies. My greatest fears were realized in the winter. The days grew short, longer nights merely provided this wretch with more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is cruel and degenerative illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. And she recognized none of us, and became clear that she would need to be moved to her house, or from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandfather had a particularly difficult few nights. Or no, my grandmother had a particularly difficult few nights, and my mother decided she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish for utter illness. To this day, I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but of what my night visitor may do should it become aware of my mother's absence. Presence being the one thing that I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day, immediately wrenched the bed sheets and mattress from the lower bunk, moving all of the slats and placing an old desk and a chest of drawers, and some chairs which we kept in the cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable. But I would be damned if I could give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there, knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix, which I had seen there before. Well, my family were not very religious. At that age, I still believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious, while gripping the crucifix under my pillow tightly in one hand, sleep eventually came as I drifted off to dream. I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incidents. Fortunately, that night was the most terrifying of all. Urban Explorer, Chapter 5. It says wolf. Alright, now we let everything know that we're here. Let's look for a play. Bunch of school books. Stack of notebooks. The feeling that something's invading your privacy, even without ill will, is still disturbing. You are good. I think so. Is that a grenade? Look at that grenade. Even if you don't know why they are here, you hold the greatest amount of fear for them. It's a fucking dinosaur! Triceratops. Whole picture of what seems to be a religious man and a woman. Stack of comic books. A bathtub in the middle of a classroom. Guess I need to take a shower. The sounds of screams are awful. Even worse when they are your own. There's a paper here. It reads knock knock. Match is dirty and worn out. Wow, match is dirty and worn out. Hi! Can I leave, please? Oh, okay, I gotta press it. Locked. A writing desk with some school materials on it. big filing cabinet. Various books that look like they would be hard to read. School materials on it. Seems like we gotta go to a newspaper article. It's too aged to read. Picture of various butterfly species. Why am I following this thing? The lock on the other door is broke, or on the door is broken here. It's broken. I don't think I can get in here. Why am I following this thing? Hello? Why are there cows? I guess. There are various school rules printed here. Guess we'll continue going down. A busted old machine of some sort. Plants grow through cracks in the floor. Okay then. Going down the hole. Are we following the cockroach creature? Why is this the thing we're doing? You know, if you're having a nightmare, your last instinct is to follow the fucking cockroach. They'll be fine. You're a cow. There's people screaming for some reason. What the fuck is this? Oh, why are you getting on it? Wouldn't this be the last thing you'd want to do? What is going on? There's a lot of cockroach people around me. Okay. I'm getting shy back to you too. You're awfully quiet nowadays. Is something wrong with you? Is there something wrong, son? Nothing. Are you sure? Is there something wrong with you in your room? Are you lonely without your brother? No. Alright then. I woke gradually. The room was once again dark. As my eyes adjusted, I could gradually make out the window and the door and the walls and toys on the shelf, and even to this day, I shudder to think of it, for there was no notice. What kind of fucking music is this? No wrestling sheets, no movement at all. The room felt lifeless. Lifeless. And not empty. The nightly visitors, that unwelcomed wheezing, hate-filled thing which had terrorized me night after night. Not in the bottom bunk. It was in my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Utter terror had shaken the very sound from my voice. I lay motionless as if I could not scream. I did not want to let it know I was awake. I had not yet seen it. I could only feel it. It was obscured under my blankets. I could see its outline, and I could feel its presence, but I dared not look. The weight of it pressed down on top of me, the sensation I will never forget. When I say that hours passed, I do not exaggerate. Laying there motionless in the darkness, I was every bit scared and frightened a young boy. If it hadn't been during the summer months, it would have been light by then. But the grasp of winter is long and unrelenting. I knew it would be hours before sunrise. A sunrise which I yearned for. I was a timid child by nature, but I reached a breaking point. A moment where I could wait no more, where I could survive life under this intimately deviant abomination no longer. Fear can sometimes wear you out and make you threatable. A shell of nerves leaving only the slightest trace of you behind. I had to get out of that bed. Then I remembered the crucifix. My hand still lay underneath the pillow, but it was empty. I slowly moved my wrist around to find it, minimizing as best I could the sound and vibrations caused, but it could not be found. I'd either knocked it off the top bunk or it had. I could not even bear to think of it. Been taken from my hand. Without the crucifix, I lost any sense of hope. Even at such a young age, you can be acutely aware of what death is and intensely frightened of it. I knew I was going to die in that bed if I lay there dormant, passive, doing nothing. I had to leave that room behind, but how? Did I leave from the bed and hope that I'd make it to the door? What if it was faster than me? Should I slowly slip out from the top bunk, hoping to not disturb my uncanny bedfellow? Guessing that it had not stirred when I moved, trying to find the crucifix, began to have the strangest thoughts. The abyss. Alright. Alright, chat. I think this is where we'll cut it for today. Hopefully, everyone is enjoying this amazing stream. Excellent. We haven't saved. We saved it, chat. Don't worry. It's not. Our progress is not lost. Don't worry. But I think that's gonna do it for this stream. These spooky games, or for Spooky Friday. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the 3 games that we played. For next stream, we'll most likely continue playing It Moved. Like 90% certain we'll continue playing it. If you guys enjoyed the stream, don't forget to, or please just give this stream a thumbs up. If you guys are new to the channel and would love to see more of this kind of stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know, free. It's free, and you can subscribe, or you could unsubscribe at any time. But why would you want to? And on top of that, if you haven't heard, we do have a community Discord. The link is down in the description below. Click on that link down there and come join the Fusion Den community, where you'll have access to not only not only moi, but you'll also get next stream. We'll do more walking simulator next stream. But you'll also get tons of different kinds of. You'll also get things on there for the other streamers of the Fusion Den. You'll also get, you know, you'll also get notifications, and you'll be the first to know by my editor Kelpie, who is in the Discord. He'll notify you of any videos that came to be or that have been uploaded. And on top of that, you may get little sneak peeks into works and videos that I am doing. And of course, we are, as always, we're trying to hit we're trying to reach our goal of 100 subscribers. So if you guys got your mom or brother or sister or anyone you want, or anyone really could really help, feel free to share the channel. And with that, I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your night.